my time in the MTC was a great learning experience, as you would expect from being in the MTC. One principle that I learned the most was the principle of always working hard, and just always working no matter what situation you're in. I was waiting for my visa in the MTC is to be able to go to Mexico, but there were travel problems with a lot of missionaries at that time, and they just weren't letting people in, and so we didn't know if we were going to be going to our mission at that scheduled time. We were just kind of waiting and going through the weeks in the MTC, and they would let us know. It got to the date that we were supposed to leave the MTC, and they told us that they didn't have our visas and that we were going to need to wait in the MTC a little bit longer. We didn't know the exact amount of time. We just knew we weren't going to Mexico yet. And so my district and I, we were so bummed, and we were just like, oh, like what do we do? And my MTC teacher, this amazing sister from Honduras, she was just so great. She could tell that we were bummed, you know, like we were just like bored and sad. And at the time, the MTC was doing construction on some of their buildings, and she had this idea. She just was like, "Vámonos, elders," and we got out of our classroom, we walked, and we had no idea where we were going, but we walk over to one of the buildings where they're doing construction, and she starts talking to some of the workers, and we're like, what is she doing? Is she crazy? And then she's like, these are some like missionaries from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and she like points to us, and she's like, go ahead, and she like put us off in companionships and start talking to these people, and we're like, what? And we're like, oh my gosh. And turns out that some of these they weren't members of the church. They were just, a lot of them were from either Mexico or other Latin American countries. And they were just working on the buildings there. And we were teaching them, and we were just like kind of just saying all the things we'd learned. We taught them a little, we did a contact, and then we were like, you know, we'd love to meet up with you again. We don't know what your schedule is here, but we'd love to meet up with you again here later at another time. And every single one of the guys were like, yeah, that'd be great. And so the next day, we kind of all set up our times to do all of our like next meetings for about the same time, and we were going to meet in one of the like little park areas at the MTC. And so the next day, at the end of when our scheduled time, I believe it was like 4 o'clock when they were done with work, we went to where we would schedule to meet, and they were there waiting for us, and we're like, what? So we like split up on our companionships and started teaching these people in our broken Spanish just about, you know, the first vision and the plan of salvation, and gave them Book of Mormons. And I remember there's one companionship that like committed them to baptism, like one of the guys to baptism. And we went back another day, and you know, and had another lesson with them. But then we like never heard of them again, because we left. We all got our visas to go to Mexico, and we were just like, oh, like wow, like this feels. We just didn't know what to do, you know. But that was again another experience of, we were in the MTC, and like we were missionaries, and we were just down, and in that moment we were like, our MTC teacher was like, okay, let's go work, let's go do what missionaries do and find opportunities to teach. And that principle stuck with me on my whole mission. I was like, okay, I want to always be looking for opportunities to work. And even in my own life, I'm always just looking for opportunities to work, always looking for opportunities to share the gospel.